Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, welcome. My name is Acting Relic, and I have been doing this for 1 year, marking today. And it's been a pretty fun year, I'll say. So, we're just going to play a couple games, mainly starting with, of course, the game where my entire recording, well, I wouldn't exactly call it a career, but sessions began. My very first recording with my Elgato HD capture box was this game, Dragon's Dogma. So we're just going to play around with it a bit and have some fun. So currently I have my female character, I believe her name is Juliet, and we are just going to run off because I learned of a very special DLC sets of armor that I need to go collect from a certain person, which I believe I have saved. Anyways, as for Dragon's Dogma, this is actually, it's a pretty good game. It's not spectacular, but it's still pretty good. There's a lot of fun to be had. You can either speed through the campaign or take it slow. There's a lot to explore. It's got a couple kinks, and if you're going to play it, it's best to play the Dark Arisen edition, because essentially it's the HD version of the game. Better textures. They fix a whole bunch of little bugs that existed. You get, I believe, all the DLC beforehand instead of having to buy it. And it just makes the game a lot better. The main point being, when it originally came out, these items here, fairy stones, when you bought them from the one black market vendor that has them, they would cost you, I think it was 10,000 coins per purchase. Now they're a little less, and money's a little easier to come by. These will help you really enjoy the game, because while running and wandering around this game is fun, you can only run for so long, run and then, well, as you can see, that orange bar is my stamina, and once it depletes I become exhausted. So running from place to place works reasonably well enough, but eventually you'll become tired, and your non-sprinting speed is quite slow. And what is it? This one? Yeah. This map is rather large, as you will be going to, by the end of the game you go all the way up to here, the Tainted Mountain, and into, of course, all of Grand Soren, and well, one of the biggest ones is going on the trip that takes you from Grand Soren all the way to Blue Mountain Tower, which is worth it once you get to Blue Mountain for the fight that you have there with a griffin. It's actually one of the best boss fights in the entire game. I would say better than the technical final boss over at the mountain, which is a gigantic dragon, which, yeah, it's an okay boss fight. It's not, but I think this is a really, once you go to Blue Moon, it's a good boss there. But the trip to do that is arduous and annoying as hell. I am able to teleport there faster because I put down these port crystals. But if you don't do that ahead of time, you can't exactly get there quickly. And port crystals cost a bit more. I think they're 40k or something. It's not too much because after a whole bunch of ops, you'll earn enough money, and at a certain point you'll have your certain gear set. So all you'll be buying is consumables like this, or fairy stones, or other pieces such as wakestone shards. So you'll accumulate, like I have 3.1 million right now, which is a good amount. Now, am I going in the right direction? Check the map here. This game is a lot of fun. I think, one of my favorite anime slash mangas is Berserk, and this game is the ultimate homage to Berserk. It had, well, as you can see here, I'm wielding a sword that is much akin to the Berserk. I think it's the Dragon Slayer? Yeah, that's it. Well, Guts goes through multiple swords throughout the story. The last one he has is the Dragon Slayer. And there's probably actually a better equivalent, but there are a whole bunch of two-handeds that are much like Guts's main weapon. There's a character you meet who fights in the same style as Sir Griffith, but she looks like Casca. It is one of the heaviest Berserk homages of all time. Even more so than Dark Souls. And Dark Souls has been notorious in stealing entire enemy types from Berserk. Well, it's not exactly. Some would call it stealing, some would call it homage. I think it's homage because the main one for it is using the wheel skeletons are in fact actually from Berserk. They're from a certain chapter of Berserk.
Maker's breath. Not as if this place gets much in the way of visit.
There is a particular person I need to speak with. Because I believe I completed his quest. Here. One thing you will not enjoy is how the quest system in this game works. You can only have so many, well, you can only have one quest, pinned at one time. So it makes it a little tricky to do a whole bunch of quests. Put that eye out. These 3 chimeras, 10 deer. I believe it's this one. Alright, should be clear, so he should be in here somewhere. Oh, there's a guard. Hello, guard.
Times are hard indeed.
Okay, thank you. But yes, the wheel skeletons are, well, in Berserk they were more wheel zombies, but then in Dark Souls they are wheel skeletons, and of course everyone who's played Dark Souls 1 knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's those damn creatures in the fucking catacombs and in the painted world of Ariamos that essentially break your game horribly, as they can kill you rather quickly. I recently went back to playing Dark Souls 1 NG Plus game, and I went down into the catacombs for, I guess it will be my third time at this point, to fight Pinwheel, and I got very close to dying from those wheel skeletons because I accidentally fell off a ledge I was trying to snipe them off.
Thought to find such a place here.
We may rest not far from here.
I don't know if he's on this side. What I'm trying to do is that when you complete that quest, I will find my iPad here just to be sure, but when you complete that quest, you can purchase items from him, and one of the items he sells is a set of DLC armor. One of them, or two sets rather. One set is of the armor of Guts. I believe it's before he was the Black Swordsman. It's the armor before that, when he was just part of the Band of the Hawk. And the other set is the set of Sir Griffith, the pure Silver Hawk armor set. Okay, let's find it here. And here, armor. Also, I will say, if you own an iPad and like to play games, I would recommend the, I think it's, well, when you can get multiple game wikis on the App Store, but there's one dedicated app that you can pin a whole bunch of communities to. So the one app, I think I run about 10 communities. So like I run Dragon's Dogma, Halo, Dark Souls, Outlast, Five Nights at Freddy's, the works. Anyways, Berserk armor sets. Both armor sets and the character's trademark weaponry can be purchased from the vendor Alon the Peddler after completing the quest of Merchants and Monsters. And I believe that's what I said I had completed. Of Merchants and Monsters complete. It says he's in front of the ancient core, so let's backtrack a little bit just so I can get those. Because that's part of the reason I switched to, I was previously playing as a Strider class with the dual daggers and the bow. But I've switched to the warrior class that uses two-handed weapons so that I can equip the full Guts Berserk set. And of course, and I should be able to wear Sir Griffith's armor, even though I will not be able to use his attack style, as I believe that is you fight with sword and shield. Although I'm trying to remember, but I don't really remember Sir Griffith using a shield that much. I remember the sword because there's of course the infamous duel between Griffith and Guts, as Guts decides to leave the Band of the Hawk, that he breaks Griffith's sword in half with his two-handed. And then there we go.
This passage links south and central Gramsis.
Alright, okay, so he should be in and around here somewhere. And I thought he was just off to the corner here. Let's keep searching. Oh, there's a chest over here, might as well take a look. What do we got? A couple coins. Okay. Where are you, Alan? Goblins. Also, the thing about playing excuse me, playing Dragon's Dogma multiple times is that every time you beat it and then go back in and play it again, you can transfer your character that has all its skills back over. But thing is, unless you pick either hard mode or speedrun mode, it does not scale the monster difficulty in any way. So you are walking into areas that were once maybe slightly troublesome to you are now a cakewalk. I believe this is my third run through of the game, and I can beat most bosses blindfolded because of the power and the ferocity of what I have access to in any of either warrior, shield, sword and shield fighter, or strider character. Because and pretty much each time I take a new attack style, it does not take long to perfect a attack style. Get up here. Nope. I would need to use an ability. Where is he? I just been... Because I thought I saw him inside. Well, let's go take a look one more time, but if I can't find him, I'll do something else. Because I would like to get this armor set. Because I thought I saw him right here.
Maker's breath.
No, this is Nelson. Maybe he's nearby. Hang on, I need to activate. Use my lantern. And now this is actually one of my favorite things about this game is, unlike other RPGs where you either have to cast a spell that uses light or carry a torch in your offhand, therefore losing either the ability to use a two-handed weapon or losing your shield, you just put a lantern that provides light on your hip, which is a much nicer way of doing things, and it allows you to see a lot more and have both your hands free to do whatever you wish. Nothing back here. The other nice thing is in certain locations you have infinite sprint like this. Currently my run bar is not depleting at all, so I can just continuously sprint through here. Whereas in other locations, mainly either boss locations or maybe we have to open this. We all have to be on it to actually do this. Come on. There we go. Open the gate there. Hello, what's this? Oh. I thought we completed the quest. That's either from a different quest or... Who do we have here? Robin. Alright then. Interesting. That guard still walking around. What's this way? There's more this way that I have not seen so far. Oh, interesting. Chest. A bunch of gold in it. Some more juice. These are always good because the nice thing is there are essentially two things you need to restore with playing these characters. Is you have to restore your stamina and you have to restore your health. those potions restore both, which is quite nice instead of although they don't restore that much stamina, they restore more health, which is understandable. Health will be the thing that you really want to keep up, as stamina recharges relatively quickly, but once you get damaged to a certain point, you will stop recharging health. Will you? And the one thing people have always talked about when they've done reviews of this game is the pawns. Are they useful? Are they just annoying? Ah.
Hello, hello.
There you are, you son of a bitch. How you doing, Alan?
Muster up the grit and any little in the way of competition. Here you are.
Alright, here we go. This is what I wanted. Promissory notes. More importantly, Graphic Helm. Wizards. There it is. The white hot. Excellent. One of those. No. Back out. Tunic. I hate that it prompts you every time if you want to change. Well, that's cool. I don't know if I have that one. I'll take it. No. Now, the other thing you do need to be careful of is the fact that there's the swordsman armor. And also the White Hawk. The one thing you do need to be careful of is that this does not work on the... Well, actually, no, it works on the same philosophy as Skyrim. The thing it doesn't work like is Dark Souls. Is your weight is determined not only by what you have on you, but also what you have equipped in the way of that as well. Too heavy. But that it is not only what you have on, but also what you are. Where's that person? No. But what you have in your inventory. So, you have to be very careful about no. White cloak. And of course, Guts' red cloak. But the nice thing is, because maybe you can't carry all the weight, but if you do need more space or carrying capacity, you can always move other stuff onto your pawns. So I'm going to switch over to me because I want to see. There it is. There is. That is the sword he uses up until about episode 12 or so of the original anime from the 90s. And I also want to see. Steel Greatsword does look cool, while it does not. The Life Taker is what I'm currently using, although I have it upgraded. But the Thousand Limbs is what I want. I don't have it, so I will ask this person to purchase it for me and carry. No. So, I think we have everything we need. Whitehawks, armor. I wanted to get that. Whitehawks. Oh, that's the other one. The swordsman's shirt. Here, got the swordsman's brace, the arm brace. Swordsman's. That. Excellent.
If you've time to spare, you've time for a look-see.
Excellent. Alright. So, equipment. Plate. Give. To me. The swordsman's shirt. Give. There. Give. There. Give. There. The swordsman's shirt, the swordsman armor. Swordsman's arm brace. Vest. Give. Me. You can keep those. Give. Me. Give. Me. Trade back. Equip that one. And give that over there. There. Mantle. Equip the swordsman's greaves. And I seem to be lacking a little bit of pieces here. Speak.
Time, units, here you are.
You have something, don't you? Swordsman's pants. I need pants, damn you. There we are. And is there a swordsman's helmet? 'Cause I thought there would be. Let me just do a quick check here. Shirt, plate, bracers, greaves, and mantle. Yep. Excellent. We don't need that helmet.
If you've time to.
Alright, there we go. Oh, this looks... I'm probably going to play this game again just using this set. But what I think I will do is do one last check here just to be sure I don't. White Hawk set. Set pieces. Hairplate, guns, leggings. And sec equipment. Yep. There we go. Excellent. Well then. Let's give this a test. It won't be as powerful, but it's going to be probably pretty fun to use. Oh, this is already half an hour, but I'm going to obviously going to cut this down, so not quite as long. One of the keys with having heavy amounts on you is the fact that your stamina will deplete much faster when running or doing any certain attacks. I must say this blade is a lot thinner than I thought it was going. I thought it was going to be very thick. Although then again, there were multiple versions of the armor and stuff like that. Check out this wolf over here who's currently bugging out and running into that wall. Well then, let's see what these wolves have against the black swordsman. And it's pretty good. Like, the thing is that each weapon kind has the same moveset, so it's not going to be varied too much. It's just really varied in how it looks and the damage output you get with it.
Watch your back!
There we go. Now this attack is very powerful, only if you can land it. It's better for if you take on really big bosses and you can get them to stop in front of you, then deal it out.
You'll ne'er hit them blindly.
I'm sorry, what? What are we fighting? Oh, just more wolves. Shard. So these rift coins are probably as good, if not better, than real actual coin. Because coin will be able to buy you equipment and resources and so on and so forth. But rift coins allow you to buy pawns from the rift. And getting other people's created pawns to work with you, especially if you go in and get a pawn that is higher level than you are to assist you, especially having a high level mage pawn that knows both reasonably powerful healing spells and damage spells, is very useful, especially when you get into scenarios where you're going to get poisoned or possibly close to petrified and stuff like that. Also, petrification in this game, well, considering this game only is a save system, there's no respawn point, unless of course you have wakestone shards. Petrification is probably the worst thing in this game, because if you get petrified, unless you have the tonic to cure it, you are dead. And when you near the end of the game, you get into a whole bunch of combat. It just becomes combat challenges arena near the end of the game. I'll just say that. Yeah, and it's not such a bad thing, because some of them are just fight the boss, and a lot of times those bosses are really fun. Except for when you fight the multi-headed... No, the Hydra isn't so bad. The Hydra only poison you, which you can either live with, taking the health damage, or cure it yourself. The problem is fighting the cockatrice and being petrified and slowly getting closer and closer to petrification until you finally seize up into a stone statue, and then it's like, okay, there goes all my health, I am now dead. Unless I want to give up one of my wake stones that I have to restart from wherever I saved last. What I'm trying to see here is if I can find one of the bigger creatures that is in Grand Soren, because I would like to show off how the combat against a larger creature works, because it's probably the best point of selling this game has. Because the standard combat is just your X and Y, and then you hit right bumper and you can use your power attacks, which you can trade out for different ones depending on your playstyle or what support you have from your pawns. I personally like these three for the warrior class, as well, that one's pretty powerful. The even better one is to do,
Strike the tail.
if I can manage it here.
Hold it best I'm able. Strike the tail.
What I'm trying to do here is do that. There we go. That Skyward Slash is a very good launcher, especially if you get it correctly on those Saurians. You'll launch them and also cut off their tail at the same time, that making them a lot easier to kill. I think if I go up here into the woods, I should run into something reasonably worth fighting. Deer over here. Deer make very good target practice for when you're just learning how to use the bow if you're using an archery character. And archery in this game is actually really good because there's no auto targeting, but you can just the movement with the bow full up and drawn is actually really easy, and then it's easy to switch to your different powers, which might be a multi-arrowed shot or a hail of arrows, a very powerful shot, an explosive shot, so on and so forth. Okay. Campment over here. I am looking for something a little bigger. And I've run into a lot of different kinds of things. Well, usually when you stay by that riverbank, you'll end up running into Cyclopses. If you wander around this forest enough, there's one, there he is. You'll run into a Chimera, which is what we're gonna go. Because Chimeras are a lot of fun. Because it's also one of the most well animated out of all the creatures, I would say. Now, the coolest thing about Dragon's Dogma is, depending on how you play, it's actually a little better if you are a speed character instead of a heavy character, is to do this function, where you can grab onto the side of the character and take on it that way. Get over here. Also, and we're already dead. So, as you can see, we're a little overpowered, but fighting these creatures is a lot of fun. I'd love to see if and once you get farther on in the game, you'll come across more powerful versions. I think, well, once you near the end of the game with all the combat challenges, you'll run into Shadow Chimeras that can do much. The goat can do full area AoE magic attacks. The lion has a lot more power. The snake's poison is a lot more effective, so on and so forth. The one thing you don't commonly run into in just wandering around the wilderness is a hydra. I've never seen a hydra in the wild. I've seen it in dungeons and stuff, but never out in the wild. Up this way. Because I'm going to run into another one of the big creatures. I wish I could show off the griffin. The griffin is one of my favorites. Only countered by the dread. There is a small dragon that you can fight sometimes, and I say small in quotations as it still is quite large, but the key is it's nowhere near as the huge dragon that you engage at the beginning of the game, and also your essentially true final boss of the game. There it is. We're gonna go fight this Cyclops, because the Cyclops is actually a really well designed creature in this game, as there are multiple variants to him. As well, they all carry clubs and they all do about the same sort of attack pattern, but the difference will be is how much armor do they have. Some Cyclopses have full armor, some just have it around their ankles and stuff. One. So eventually, after bouncing off enough, I can break these plates. I can break these cuffs like that. And then eventually you'll weaken his legs weaken his legs enough so that you can do huge amounts of damage, and especially if you can get to his head, attacking him directly in his eye does a lot of damage. That, do the upward slash, and we are victorious. Excellent. There is one trouble with fighting up on this hill, is that it might be possible to fall off this cliff, and if you fall off that cliff, you will die. So, I think I will close it off there for this game. I think I'll do a couple others, but I'm very happy with how this whole, I don't want to call it a YouTube career, but I'll call it a career. Obviously not getting paid for it. I'm doing it for the fun, for the people who support me, my family, my friends, all that. It's been a fun year so far, and it's going to get even better the more I work at it, and the more oh, here comes boulders. The more variety and types and just amount of games I get to play. I'll pause here. Yeah, next piece coming up real soon.